Sleep Now presents Fall Asleep to the Legend of Florida Man. Melbourne, 2017. A 47-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly conduct after he was found at a fast food restaurant pouring milk onto the ground and yelling at the drive-thru speaker. When police arrived, the man reportedly told them he was trying to summon the Milk King. Daytona Beach, 2019. A 61-year-old Florida man was arrested after allegedly attacking his neighbors with roach spray and nunchucks during an argument over loud music. The suspect reportedly sprayed the woman with the pesticide, then swung the nunchucks, striking his own forehead before throwing them at the woman's vehicle. Holmes Beach, 2019. A 40-year-old Florida man was arrested after he called 911 3 times to report that the price of marijuana had been marked up too high. The man, who admitted to being under the influence, wanted police to intervene in the drug transaction. He was charged with misuse of the emergency system. Daytona Beach, 2015. A 53-year-old Florida man was arrested for resisting arrest after a bizarre incident where he allegedly attempted to escape police by riding a manatee. Witnesses reported the man climbed onto the manatee in shallow water. The manatee quickly swam away, throwing the suspect off. Palm Coast, 2020. A 38-year-old Florida man was arrested for aggravated assault after allegedly swinging a live alligator on a leash at a gas station employee. The suspect reportedly became aggressive over the price of beer. The alligator was taken into custody by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Miami Beach, 2016. A 29-year-old Florida man was arrested after allegedly attempting to rob a public supermarket with a stapler. According to police, the suspect slipped the cashier a note claiming he had a gun, which turned out to be a large office stapler. He fled without money, but was later apprehended. Boca Raton, 2014. A 32-year-old Florida man was arrested for trespassing after allegedly trying to gain entrance to a country club by claiming he was the famous musician Michael Jackson and stating he needed to retrieve his diamond glove. Security guards called police when the man became belligerent. Key West, 2020. A 33-year-old Florida man was arrested after allegedly throwing a live rooster at his neighbor during an argument. The victim told Key West police the suspect, who keeps chickens, became angry and threw the bird at him as a weapon. The rooster was not injured. The man was charged with battery. Haines City, 2016. Police arrested a 46-year-old Florida man for misuse of 911 after he called dispatch twice to complain that his mother would not buy him Kool-Aid, milk, and cereal at a local store. Officers who arrived at the store found the man, who appeared intoxicated, waiting for them. He was taken into custody for improper use of the emergency system. Zillwood, 2017. A 40-year-old Florida man was arrested on Christmas morning after allegedly attacking his girlfriend with a Christmas tree. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office arrest report, the man became angry during an argument, picked up the decorated tree, and threw it at the victim. He was charged with domestic battery. Vero Beach, 2014. A 57-year-old Florida man was arrested for misuse of the 911 system after he called dispatchers multiple times to request hamburgers be delivered to his home. The Indian River County Sheriff's Office reported the man, who was intoxicated, told dispatchers he was hungry. He was taken into custody after deputies arrived at his home. Brevard County, 2025. A 42-year-old Florida man led deputies on a low-speed chase after attempting to steal 2 lawnmowers. When confronted by authorities, the suspect fled on a John Deere riding mower, leading deputies across several backyards. The chase concluded when the man attempted to hide behind a residence. He was arrested on multiple charges, including grand theft and trespassing. Leon County, 2018. A 25-year-old Florida man was arrested for firing a gun inside his home at what he first described as an armed intruder. When Tallahassee police found no evidence of a break-in, the man, a self-described paranormal investigator, reportedly allowed that the intruder might have been a ghost. He was charged with firing a weapon in a dwelling and giving a false statement to police. Spring Hill, 2022. The Hernando County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a 41-year-old Florida man who wished to report that the methamphetamine he had recently purchased was of poor quality. The man told deputies he was an experienced drug user and believed he had been sold bath salts instead. He requested officers come and test the substance. When deputies arrived, the man produced 2 baggies of a white, crystal-like substance, which field tested positive for methamphetamine. He was subsequently arrested and charged with possession. Coca, 2017. Police in Coca have charged a local Florida man with criminal mischief after he allegedly attacked an ATM with a hatchet. The suspect told officers he was frustrated because the machine was giving him too much money. Surveillance video captured the man striking the machine. The suspect reportedly called the bank manager afterward to apologize for the incident, which caused an estimated $5,000 in damages. Lake Worth, 2019. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is searching for a Florida man who was captured on a home surveillance camera systematically licking a resident's doorbell. The video footage shows the man approaching the door, leaning in, and licking the doorbell button for an extended period. The suspect, who also gestured at the camera, has not been identified. Port St. Lucie, 2018. A 23-year-old Florida man was arrested after police say he attempted to pay for his order at a McDonald's drive-thru with a baggie of marijuana. An employee at the restaurant refused the offer and called authorities. Officers who responded to the call located the suspect's vehicle nearby and, upon making contact, noted a strong smell of marijuana. The man was arrested for possession of marijuana and driving under the influence. He reportedly told officers the offer was just a joke. Orlando, 2018. A Florida man was arrested by Orlando police after multiple witnesses reported seeing him practicing karate on the swans at Lake Eola. Witnesses stated the man was kicking the swans in the head and neck. An officer responding to the scene observed the man kicking a sleeping duck. The suspect was charged with cruelty to animals and has been banned from the park. North Palm Beach, 2019. A Florida man faces grand theft charges after allegedly stealing $33,000 worth of a rare presidential dollar coin collection from an office in December. According to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, the 40-year-old suspect told investigators he ran many of the collectible coins through grocery store Coinstar machines, which returned only their face value. The victim estimated the total value of items stolen, including the coins, at $350,000. The suspect reportedly received just a fraction of their value from the automated kiosks. Palm Beach County, 2016. Authorities have arrested a 24-year-old Florida man who allegedly threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a fast food restaurant's drive-thru window. The incident which occurred in October of last year in Loxahatchee, was reportedly a prank on an employee the man knew. The suspect, located after using his credit card at a nearby convenience store, admitted to finding the alligator on the side of the road and tossing it into the building. He faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon, illegally possessing an alligator, and petty theft. Ocala, 2020. A 37-year-old Florida man was arrested for theft after stealing a case of toilet paper during the initial pandemic panic, then calling police hours later to complain that he was allergic to the cheap brand. Lakeland, 2017. A 28-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly intoxication after he was found at a cemetery attempting to have a spiritual conversation with a headstone using a walkie-talkie. West Palm Beach, 2018. A 52-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly conduct after running through a crowded mall wearing nothing but a plastic bag on his head, claiming he was a fashion statement. St. Augustine, 2019. A 55-year-old Florida man was arrested for indecent exposure after he stripped nude and attempted to run into a church, claiming he was the second coming of Elvis. Fort Lauderdale, 2018. A 40-year-old Florida man was arrested for grand theft after stealing a large plastic pink flamingo lawn ornament from a private residence and attempting to ride it on the hood of a moving taxicab. Wesley Chapel, 2016. A 29-year-old Florida man was arrested for attempted robbery after he attempted to rob a bank by using a banana that he had painted black and pretended was a gun. Port Charlotte, 2025. A Florida man was arrested after allegedly attacking a neighbor's home by throwing a can of corn through their window, shattering the glass. Neighbors reported the man frequently threw random items, including canned goods and raw meat, at their houses. Sarasota, 2017. A 62-year-old Florida man was arrested for aggravated assault after allegedly attacking his roommate with a garden gnome. The victim suffered minor injuries, and the suspect was charged with using a deadly weapon. Delray Beach, 2015. A 29-year-old Florida man was arrested for trespassing after allegedly trying to climb into the alligator exhibit at a local nature center. He told staff he wanted to wrestle one for sport. Tampa, 2014. A 50-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly intoxication after stripping off his clothes in a restaurant and using a tablecloth as a makeshift toga. He claimed he was celebrating a friend's birthday in true Roman style. Palm Bay, 2020. A 24-year-old Florida man was arrested for grand theft after allegedly stealing a giant inflatable duck from a car dealership lot. Police found the man attempting to paddle the inflatable across a retention pond. Vero Beach, 2018. A 44-year-old Florida man was arrested on New Year's Day for battery after allegedly attacking his family with a large, decorative candy cane during a domestic dispute over leftover turkey. Cape Coral, 2018. A 60-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly conduct after running through a crowded park, yelling that he was the real Santa Claus and throwing handfuls of stale crackers at children. Miami Gardens, 2017. A 52-year-old Florida man was arrested for misuse of 911 after repeatedly calling the emergency line to request that an officer come to his home and check the serial numbers on his marijuana stash, as he suspected he had been sold counterfeit weed. Hollywood, 2019. A 38-year-old Florida man was arrested for indecent exposure after being found naked on the roof of a Taco Bell. Firefighters used a ladder truck to get the man down, who claimed he was practicing for a spiritual cleansing. Port St. Lucie, 2016. A 55-year-old Florida man was arrested for criminal mischief after allegedly vandalizing a neighbor's lawn by drawing crude pictures in the grass using mayonnaise. The argument reportedly started over a shared fence line. Newport Richey, 2016. A 50-year-old Florida man was arrested for DUI after leading deputies on a slow-speed chase in an electric shopping cart. The man eventually stopped when the cart's battery died. He was charged with DUI for operating the vehicle while intoxicated. Hollywood, 2015. A 34-year-old Florida man was arrested for indecent exposure and battery after he allegedly tried to lick a stranger's face in a grocery store aisle. The victim told police the man approached her, stated, "I need to taste you," and then attempted the act. Fort Lauderdale, 2019. Police arrested a 25-year-old Florida man for grand theft after he allegedly stole a full case of beer from a convenience store by stuffing it down his pants. The store clerk provided video evidence showing the suspect wobbling out the door with the case hidden in his oversized trousers. Tampa, 2011. A 43-year-old Florida man was arrested for misuse of 911 after he walked up to a Taco Bell drive-thru window and was denied service because he wasn't in a car. He then called 911 to complain that the employees were forcing him to drive drunk to get a meal. Miami, 2025. A 33-year-old Florida man was arrested for aggravated battery after allegedly running over his date with an SUV because she refused to let him smell her feet. The two had met on a dating app. The victim was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and the suspect was arrested shortly after, fleeing the hotel parking garage. Port Orange, 2017. A 57-year-old Florida man was arrested for misuse of 911 after he called dispatchers multiple times to report that his pizza delivery was taking too long. When deputies arrived, the man was yelling at the pizza parlor on the phone. He was charged with improper use of the emergency system. Sarasota, 2014. A 60-year-old Florida man was arrested for disorderly intoxication after allegedly running through a retirement community's golf course in the nude. Deputies apprehended the man. He told them he was freeing his spirit. Punta Gorda, 2015. A 55-year-old Florida man was arrested for DUI after he was found driving a motorized recliner down a highway. The customized chair included a stereo, lights, and a cup holder. He was taken into custody after performing poorly on field sobriety tests. Clearwater, 2016. A 20-year-old Florida man was arrested for battery after allegedly squirting ketchup onto his girlfriend during an argument. According to the arrest affidavit, the suspect became angry, grabbed a ketchup bottle, and aggressively squirted the condiment at the victim, striking her in the face. Port St. Lucie, 2017. A 38-year-old Florida man was arrested after attempting to steal a pet raccoon from another man's porch. The raccoon's owner stated the suspect claimed the animal, named Bandit, was his. During the attempted theft, the suspect was bitten multiple times by the raccoon. He was charged with petty theft. Alachua County, 2025. A 35-year-old Florida man has been arrested on fraud charges after allegedly posing as a flight attendant to obtain free flights. Airline officials became suspicious and contacted the Alachua County office. Investigators determined the man had used a fraudulent flight attendant ID to board at least 34 free flights on multiple airlines over the past year. Hopefully by now, you're asleep. If not, check out some of our other videos. And please subscribe, as we'll be updating our channel with new videos soon. Thank you.